Welcome to Simply Bitcoin, the channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from Twitter, the daily fail, daily meme review, the software releases, and the websites by plebes. Drop us a like and subscribe. Let's go.
Cloud Booty Dashboard!
Block of 661,954. Current Bitcoin price 22,835. Chain rewrite days 617, and the total lightning capacity 1,063.56 BTC.
Dude, I honestly can't remember. Was the price of Bitcoin higher yesterday? Was it? Okay, all right.
No, we're still we're hanging in there. We're up, but we're not higher up. So.
I'm so ready for next year. For anyone who's confused, who's new to the channel, this is Satoshi the Bitcoin Chicken. He clucks when the price of Bitcoin makes an all-time high. And at that, Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. Anyway, so this is from a fellow Bitcoiner, Zender or Zentoshi. And so he posted this. Imagine the CEO of a shitcoin giving you $5 in private to bribe you to hold his stupid crap that nobody wants. That's how pathetic Roger Ver is. And let's take a look at the screenshots.
I almost can't believe it.
All right, so here you go. Sends him this. Don't forget to claim your $5 I sent you. BTC can't do that over a Twitter DM. And this person responded, thanks. I'll change it for BTC before it loses any more value.
Dude, why would he lie about that's something Roger Ver would do? It's believable. I believe it.
Oh, of course, 100% I believe it. I mean, look, every single time you see him doing one of these cringe videos, forcing these people to use Bcash in a terminal so that he can show the recording of somebody using Bcash.
It's so funny. It's cringe with like the coffee purchases. It's like, look, people are using it. Look at me, right? Oh my god.
Constantly having to sit there and shill that people using his affinity scam. And, you know, for those people who don't know, he runs bitcoin.com, which you'd think would be about Bitcoin, but really it's about Bcash. And for some reason, he doesn't see the hypocrisy in this. Like anyways,
he sees it, man.
I don't know.
He's a sleazy guy. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, everybody. Our meme for today. It's not really a meme. It's a video, but the video is so dope and it relates to memes, right? That we just had to review it. I already know what the score I'm going to give it to because this video is just so amazing, right? I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's check it out.
In South Africa, you have your rand, right? That's going to zero. That's going to zero. This is going to zero too. Euros are going to zero. The yen's going to zero. The Chinese currency is going to zero. It's all going to zero against Bitcoin. If you don't understand that yet, you're going to be impoverished. You're going to be on the street. You're going to be begging. You're going to be out of business. You're going to be toast.
Max, do you know that it's a criminal offense to tear up?
Do you know that with the Bitcoin I have, I can buy any freaking senator or congressman I want? I make the laws. He who has the Bitcoin makes the laws, Rand. We're not going to just sit around and let the goddamn congressman tell us what to do. We've got the capital. We make the laws. We've got the Bitcoin. They don't. We got it. They don't. Do you understand?
Okay. A lot to break down there before I talk about it. That's a perfect 10 for me, okay? What about you, Phil?
I guess this time we're slightly off. I'm going with the 9 on this one.
Okay. Dude.
That's not a perfect 10 for me, but still. Because I can't, right? Because it's not a meme. It is a video, but I have to give the content a 9 anyways. Let's discuss.
Yeah, no, I look, it made me laugh so hard. It was so captivating, right? Which is like the whole point of a meme, right? Which is why I wanted to put it in the meme review. I saw that video. I was like, we have to review it even though it's not a meme, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
But you see that, like, you're a noob and you're like, who is this guy? Like, what is he talking about?
Yes.
Like, what is he talking about? It like leads you to the rabbit hole, right? You still got to jump, but it's like, why is this guy so insane? What is he talking about? You know? And then once you're like in the rabbit hole, you're like, yeah, he's fucking right. You know? So, man, shout out to Max Kaiser because that was really effective. At least for me, it was.
He's very high energy, and what some people may not want to admit as well, right? Is like everybody gets sucked into Bitcoin through somebody. you know, like somebody that you see, and he has, you know, this very magnetic kind of what's the word I'm looking for, eccentric type of personality, so you can't help but listen to him. So yeah, you know, like this guy's gotten a lot of people into Bitcoin, and he's got great theatrics, you know. He's really, really funny. And I don't know if you saw, there was a video he talked with Peter Schiff. I'll get you the link, and maybe we'll review that one too. And he just totally rips Peter's head off.
That sounds like a great review.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I mean, look, that was a great video, and if you didn't know about Bitcoin, at least now you can see somebody's really excited about it. So you might want to check it out.
And everything he says is true, right?
Oh, yeah,
like
absolutely.
that's the best part,
right
right? He's right on about everything, right? So, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, guys, this isn't really my strong suit. I don't have that much, you know, experience from to the traditional financial market. So I'll kind of relate to, I mean, I'll rely on Phil on this, but basically there's a huge announcement. It was announced a couple of days ago, but we were kind of expecting this was going to happen, right? We wanted more information, and today that information was released. So it looks like Goldman Sachs is the one that's going to lead Coinbase to IPO. Again, I don't have that much experience in traditional finance, but from my understanding, a company, before they go public, they kind of have to team up with one of the traditional financial houses to help them go public. That's my understanding of it. So, Phil, I don't know if you want to go more in depth about that, because I'm sure I butchered it in some parts.
No, that's it. I mean, look, at its simplest, look, at the end of the day, it's a company that chooses to bring this, you know, this particular company public, right? And what they do is that they find, you know, a first and, well, not even a first round of shareholders, because they're essentially the first round. Okay. The companies like Goldman Sachs end up making the most money off of this, no matter what. I mean, obviously many people at Coinbase are going to get loaded, which most of them already are, but either way, that's one style of doing it, right? Where you go through a, you know, like a financial institution like Goldman Sachs, and they bring you public, and they give, you know, a valuation to the company, and they break down the share structure and all of that stuff, and, you know, do all of the filing paperwork and all of that. Anyways, the other way that you can do it is the way that Google did it, which is and I don't like Google. Google is evil. That's why they had to take down that slogan. But they did a Dutch auction, okay, which was fair and allowed everybody to get in essentially at the same level. Which anybody who actually bought the Google IPO, you probably got in at like $30 or $40, but if you got in once that IPO came to market, you were probably paying about $80 a share. Anyways, going back to this Coinbase thing, I know a lot of people that are wanting to short this IPO. They're actually happy that Coinbase is going public so that they can trade the shares down, and they think it's going to crash. As much as I hate Coinbase, and as much as I don't, you know, appreciate Brian's politics, I actually don't think that it's going to do so bad. It all depends on what the pricing is of the IPO and how many shares and what the valuation is of the company. Now, keep in mind, these valuations, for the most part, aren't even really realistic. But what I think, because it's so hot, it's more than likely going to come out with a very high valuation. So again, you know, we're not going to give you investment advice, but I'm definitely not buying that IPO myself. So I haven't bought stocks actually in 2 years. So
yeah, fuck. Sorry, I can't curse on the show. Okay. Fudge stocks, buy Bitcoin instead. But thanks for that, Phil, because I had no idea. Okay, move on to the next piece of news. All right, so Nigeria, right? Crazy. I'll explain to you why in a little bit. Is now the number 2 Bitcoin market on this fast-growing global marketplace, right? And you kind of ask you, it's like, why Nigeria, right? Well, here's your answer, right? Their inflation rate is 11%, right? And year after year, right? So that starts to compound after a while, right? So it pushes people, and I'm sure that it's pretty difficult to buy, you know, traditional U.S. equities out there in Nigeria to hold value, right? Or it's the real estate market. I don't know how it is over there, but it looks like people are choosing to hold their value, hold their wealth in Bitcoin, right? Which is really interesting. You're seeing the same thing in countries around the world that have high volatility. You're seeing that in Venezuela. You're seeing that in Turkey. You're seeing that anywhere around the world that's not a Western country. You see a lot more people using Bitcoin peer-to-peer, right, just to maintain their wealth. So I thought that was an awesome article. What do you think about it, Phil?
I am just wondering why the Nigerians haven't heard of Bcash and the fact that they could be buying coffee with it. I mean, I don't understand it. Somebody should get out there. Roger, get out to Nigeria and offer them your coffee money. You know? So again, I'm sorry, I'm making fun, but at the end of the day, it's like, look, nobody cares about that narrative. These people need to store their value. These people have been suffering for years. I mean, you saw that chart. I mean, at one point they had 80% inflation. Like you can't even buy groceries from week to week with those numbers.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, you can, but you're getting less groceries.
Exactly.
So it's just brutal.
Yeah, man, it really is. And let's end the headline article for today, guys, is Steve Mnuchin is a chicken. Okay, why did I say that? Seriously. U.S. Treasury said to weigh new crypto transaction reporting rule aimed at self-hosted wallets. Breaking news. They already weighed in on this. Here is the official legalese. We will put that down in the link description, but we're not going to read you the legalese because it's designed to be legalese, and only people that really are paying attention are seeing what is transpiring. But this article does a great job at explaining exactly what is proposed in the official document. And officially what they're going to try to do, Phil, is over any $10,000 transaction in a single day from any exchange, right? If you're withdrawing from exchange or you're depositing to exchange, now those exchanges are going to have to fill out a specific form. They're going to have to inform the government about that type of transaction. Again, they already have this rule. It's for banks. If you try to deposit more than $10,000 in cash in a bank, you can, but the bank has to make you fill out a form to report it, right? Mm-hmm. They also want to pass this regulation where they want stricter KYC laws for any withdrawals at the rate of $3,000, right? Mm. So, man, it's more draconian rules, but I love what you said earlier a couple weeks ago, Phil. They're trying to fit traditional financial regulations onto this new system, and it doesn't work. And this is, I don't see this helping money laundering. Again, people that money launder, they don't use traditional financial systems. They go to countries, they go overseas, they open an account in the Cayman Islands, they use shell companies. Wealthy people do that, right? But poor people have to adhere to these tyrannical regulations. They already have this tyrannical regulation with cash. The government is moving away from cash, right? In New York, now it's illegal to use cash, right? In certain situations. So it's like, man, like at what point, like, you know, you have to make a stand, right? And we were covering these rumors about the 4 congressmen that decided to speak up against this. At least it wasn't as bad as we anticipated. We anticipated a full out ban on self-custody. That's not what they did, right? So it's a $10,000 report to the government every time you withdraw $10,000 out from an exchange. That's what they're proposing. The next 2 weeks, they're going to get public feedback. I laugh at that because it's not like they're going to listen to anybody, right? Because everyone's going to be against that, right? So that's what the next 2 weeks are. If you want to do something about it, even though I think it's a waste of time, call your representative. If you live in the U.S., I think it's an utter waste of time, man. All those people are shady as hell, right? They're all bought by banks, right? So that Brad Sherman must be like so happy right now. What are your thoughts on this BS, Phil? It puts me in a bad mood.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So look, they're so smart, they're idiots, okay? Because all they're simply doing is forcing us. Okay, so you wanna be the gatekeepers and you want to be difficult gatekeepers, then no problem. We're not going to come and play in your system, and we're just going to build our own. They're forcing us to make the ecosystem faster. That's all they're doing. Because you're going to see, because of the amount of value that's going to accrue in Bitcoin, people aren't going to want to pay the fee to walk off the ride. They're going to be like, nah, I'm staying here. And that is going to force services to come to Bitcoin. That is going to force a lot more innovation to come into Bitcoin. These guys are absolute fools. They're old dinosaurs. They're not relevant anymore. You know, this is like the bed of Procrustes, right? It's like they're trying to, you know, it's like if you were too tall, he'd cut off your legs. If you were too short, he'd stretch you to fit the bed. Okay? Like that doesn't work, man. It kills all your customers. Anyways,
I absolutely agree with you, Phil, and you made some awesome points. And yeah, man, they're I already cursed once. They're fucking dinosaurs, okay, everybody. That's what they are, okay.
Yeah, they're relics.
They're relics. They're relics. Okay, well, Phil, there's a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. We have today. Oh, BlueWallet version 6.0.1 was released, and the link to that is down below in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around for another week of Simply Bitcoin. This is an awesome week for us. Phil, I, and Satoshi say thank you for all your support. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. If you guys love the video, you know what to do. Subscribe and hit the little notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. See you guys later. See you tomorrow on Saturday.
Yes.
Peace.